Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're all doing fine and well today. And yes, if this is your first time watching the video, please kindly subscribe, all right, or follow me and share with your friends. If you have any question, drop it in the comment section. All right, so we have a lot ahead of us today. There's a lot to talk about because, first off, what happened on Friday? Okay, if you woke up from your bed, probably you're taking a nap after a long hard day, something around 3 p.m. Nigerian time or 4 p.m. And you just got up and you're like, wait, what happened? Maybe you had a trade on gold, or you had a trade on literally any dollar pair, or maybe indices, or maybe any commodities, and you got up commodities that is not WTI, because the WTI was more like it was a bit contended, like it was a bit cool. Let me just put it that way. For anything metal, anything forex pairs, especially the major pairs, and you woke up, or probably you step away from your PC and then you just went back to your PC or your phone. Maybe you were receiving a call and you you went back to MetaTrader 5 and you were shocked. Like, what happened? I hope you guys actually use stop loss though, because for people that doesn't use stop loss, last week would be crazy. It's either you're in a lot of profit or it's a bad story that we both know what it means. Okay, I was in a Ethereum short. I was holding Ethereum short last week. Okay, it was doing very well. I was also holding Bitcoin short, also doing amazingly well. I was making some serious good profit. Okay, I'm gonna share the actual trade picture with you. I was shorting from here, I was shorting here, and I was shorting here when it comes to Bitcoin. Okay, and then I was trading, actually. I was trading, all my trading stuff was somewhere around here on Bitcoin. Okay, and then I was actually napping. That's why I started with napping. Okay, I was napping in the afternoon. Like, it's been a very long week for me. Okay, it's been roller coaster in the market. The only thing that actually makes sense throughout last week for me is cryptocurrency. And even the stock market was quite messed up. All right, I'm talking about Nasdaq. I'm talking about Nikkei. I was buying stuff like that, and it was quite messed up. I was also shorting GJ. GJ would stop tapping my trailing stop. It was messed up. Like I said, messed up. And I woke up and I was like, what happened? I knew, okay, it was around 3 p.m. Nigerian time. I knew Fed would be having a conversation at, Jerome Powell will be giving a remark at Jackson Hole Symposium. Okay, I knew it's going to happen. And there's this thing that we are talking about. There's this deliberation that it will mention the Fed rate cut in September, but I wasn't expecting something quite crazy as this. All right. So he went ahead and said the monetary policy would probably get eased out, okay, be eased off, just it signaled a possibility of rate cuts. I mean, coming from Fed himself, the chairman himself, saying there's a possibility of the Fed going ahead to cut rates. And potentially, maybe he said something like maybe 50 basis points, I don't know. And the market took it like a champ and they sold everything off. Okay. DXY drove like banana. It was crazy. Now, is this the first? I have 3 questions. Okay, is this the first time we're going to see something like this? Definitely not. Would this be the last time we're going to see something like this? No. All right, we are just getting started. Okay, this is just the beginning. So, if you are a trader, get ready. It's going to be dramatic from here. It can only get better, and by better I mean many more of these should be expected as we move forward. And that is why I'm actually detaching myself gradually from the forex pair, and I'm venturing into stocks, into indices, into cryptocurrencies. The asset that I really won't chest on a normal day. I'm only very cool with the currency pairs, but then everything is crazy. Okay, gold has been ranging for a very long time. The same thing with silver. It tapped me out on so many times before it now rallied up. I was tapped out on a trailing stop on silver. I was tapped out on gold with a stop loss, and then the market just rallied up. Okay, now I'm telling you all of this so that you can actually get prepared, especially if you are a beginner. This is not the time to go and borrow money to trade. Please don't do that right now. Okay, the market is awful right now. Okay, and by awful I mean there's a lot of volatility. Okay, if you're the kind of person that you're going it's either you go big or go home. Without big lot size, you're not going to buy Lambo. If that is your mantra, if that is what your guru taught you, this is not the time to go at it, because believe you me, if you use big lot size at the very wrong time, oh boy, it's going to be messed up. All right. Now, I'm not here to scare you, because if you have an actual understanding of what's going on in the economy, you can better position yourself. Okay, the market is quite much more than just technicals right now. You have to really, ingrain yourself into the fundamental stories, the full capture of what's going on in the economy, and you should be able to expect it. You should be able to forecast what could possibly happen in the next couple of days, all right, or even the next couple of months. Okay, what the Bank of Japan has planned, what Bank of England has planned, what Bank of Canada plan is, what the Fed plan is, what the Reserve Bank of New Zealand plan is, because you also saw what happened to NZD US dollar. Okay, NZD dollar also fell very hard. Why did it fail? Because the Reserve Bank of New Zealand cut rate. Okay, it is something we're all expecting. Cool, the cut rate, that is beautiful. All right, but what happened? Okay, the initial plan for the rate cut, let me just say their target this year was supposed to be 2.88, 2.85%, excuse me. Okay, that is the borderline. Like, okay, we're gonna cut rate this year, but we're not gonna cut it. We're not gonna cut more than probably 50 basis points. Okay, from 3%, we're gonna cut 25 basis points. We're gonna cut another. From 3.25%. Okay, we're gonna cut 25 basis points. We're gonna cut another 25 basis points. Okay, making 50 basis points by the end of the year, and the inflation rate will be the English I'm supposed to use is not coming. That's why I'm trying to use something very cool. Very simple. So the ceiling, okay, is 2.85, meaning it cannot go higher than that. It can't go below that, meaning the floor or the ceiling. Let's just put it that way. All right, that is the plan. That is their target. But then during the press conference, okay, I've forgotten the name of the Fed's chair over there at Reserve Bank of New Zealand. They now shifted it from 2.85 to 2.55%. You know what that means? It means they're considering cutting more interest rate. That is awfully bearish. And what happened? We saw massive dump of New Zealand. If you check NZD CHF, NZD CAD, NZD JPY, anything NZD, it dropped last week crazily. Why and how did I know? Because I was buying NZD dollar right here. Okay, if you've been following my full videos, you know that I was holding NZD dollar long. And then my trading stop was somewhere around there. I was very, very energized. When the market came down to this place, I took some new buy and it went off. Okay, it went off. It's all cool. I was expecting a rate cut. I knew they're going to cut on 5 basis points. But what I didn't know at that time, before the press conference, was he's going to cut. They're going to reduce their ceiling. They're going to reduce their target to 2.55 by the end of the year. And that was not pretty. Okay, so that is that. So what am I saying again? At this time of the year, this particular market we're trading right now, considering the drivers, we have Trump, very, very, very active on social media, ready to do whatever to get his own agenda done. So as a trader, you have to be able to capitalize all of this or be able to avoid all of this. If you can avoid it, fine. Okay, that means you have to be probably a scalper or a swing trader. And even as a scalper or a swing trader, imagine when Fed said he's going to fire one of the Fed's cook. Okay, I don't know what happened between Lisa Cook and Trump. I think there's an allegation. I've not really read into that much. All right, and nobody could have expected that, and the market reacted to it. Okay, the market reacted to it. Dollar somehow pump. Okay, let's check the XY again. I think dollar somehow pump. Yeah, that should be sometime on Tuesday. This is 13th. I think it should be right somewhere around here. Okay, that happened. So if you are a scalper, you're scalping the 1 minute time frame, there's no way you could have planned for that. There's no way you could have prepared for that. As a matter of fact, when that happened, guess where I was? I was at the gym. How could I have prepared for that? I was only with my phone, and I've taken a liberty of removing MetaTrader 5 from my phone, and I moved it to my PC. So now I couldn't do anything. All I have to do is just watch and continue working out. It's crazy. So as a trader, you've got to get prepared. Understand the economy, at least have 40% of what is happening in the economy, because where we are right now, technical analysis alone is not going to save you. Okay, it's not enough to get you that Lambo. I'm sorry. And if you went ahead and used a big lot size at the wrong time, it's going to be messed up. Okay, please don't borrow money to trade right now. It is not cool. Don't ever do it. Don't go ahead and promise anybody 25% return right now. Might be messed up again. All right. So that is just my my 2 cents, 2.5 cents from me to you. All right. Now let's get into the business properly, like we always do. All right. And yeah, what are we going to talk about today? We have a lot to talk about. Okay, we have a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about the top setup right here on Edge Finder. We're going to talk about the economic surprise meter. We can see what is happening to the currencies right now, especially Nzdusd. You can see Japanese yen. You can see Swede is also losing some steam. Dollar is just messed up, all right, literally. So we're going to talk about all of this as we move forward. Okay, you see, this is US economic heatmap. We're going to talk about US economic heatmap. Look at what you have right now. The stock market is messed up in the United States. Although I'm currently buying Nasdaq. I'm talking about US 100. I'm buying Nikkei as well. The Japanese yen stock JPY 225. I'm buying both. Okay, at least Japanese yen stock is kind of slow, but Nasdaq was very, very beautiful. All right, I'm gonna share. That's one of the trades I have open right now. So I'm gonna share the update with you. And we're going to talk about this first kind of stuff. Okay, if time permits us. Okay, but we don't really need to sit on this one like that. Okay, it doesn't really matter. And we're going to talk about the economic calendar, what we have coming next week. We have one extra Sunday in this month. That is very interesting. We have 5 Sundays this month, right? Is it 5? Let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, we have 5 Sundays. Interesting stuff. Okay. We don't really have that much data coming this week, so we're going to talk about that. The little we have, we're going to talk about it. Now, let's start as usual with the dollar index. Let's take a look at it from the very top. Okay, from where we started the year from. We started the year right above here. Okay, when DXY was at 110.180. That's where we started the year from, the year 2025. Okay, relatively we started that above 110, so to speak. Then where we are right now, this is the 8th month in the year 2025. So tell me, where are we right now? Cool. I went ahead and checked my recordings. I thought I wasn't recording. I would have just snapped. You will hear me scream. And you probably would have seen me, but you would hear me scream. I thought I wasn't recording. Oh boy. Oh boy. Thank goodness I'm recording. God have mercy. All right. So where are we right now on DXY? Where are we? Okay. We are ranging around 196. That's where we are right now. Like from 100. Between 100 and 96, that is where we are on DXY right now. And that just kind of like puts you in a very, very cautious mode, because we've been in this tight range, or let me just say in this very wide and wild range since May. Okay, May, June, July, August, for the past 4 months. Okay, so what happened was the market opened January this year. This is the first time trading. So you started selling DXY. For 4 months straight, it was a colossal drop down. Okay, it was just dropping back to back, back to back, back to back. And then since July, we are trapped inside this range since July. And why did I adjusted my distance like this, my demand zone? Because we've seen the break of structure right here. But since then, we've only seen break of structure at the top here, which almost getting like invalidated at the bottom here. So what we have right now on DXY, let me actually make it make sense, is that we have pretty much demand zone here. All right, we have that there, and we only have one break of structure. Okay, right here, market went up, come down, break this particular structure right here, and then it came back down. So we've not seen any major higher highs. Okay, like this one. So hence we are trapped inside this gigantic range. All right. So where do we go from here? Let's take a look at dollar economic heatmap. Okay, before we can actually talk about where do we go from here. So taking a look at this, we have the GDP still remain the same. What's going on right here now? Come on. We have the GDP still remain the same at 3%, okay, which was quite good. We have manufacturing PMI, service PMI, all came quite bad. All right. The retail sales, awful. The CPI. Now, let's talk about what happened on Friday. Again, just the bigger picture now. Fed went ahead. Jerome Powell went ahead and said they're gonna cut rates. Now why? Okay, you might ask, why would he do that? Okay, the deal is the interest rate in the United States. Okay, let me see if I can get the actual number for you. So, but we're gonna just continue talking about it. Let that load up. Okay, So the interest rate in the United States is something around 4.25%. I believe so. It's been actually a long time since I checked. So let's see if this one actually has loaded. Yes. Oh, it's 4.5. Thank goodness I actually came back here to check. So the interest rate in the United States has been 4.5 since November 2024. That means throughout this year, we've not seen any rate cuts. Now, the highest we've seen since 2023 is 5%, meaning the interest rate in the United States is awfully big right now. Okay, it's pretty big. I mean, excuse me, it's 5.5%. Excuse me. All right. Now, where do we go from here? Okay, where do we go from here? If the Fed fail to cut rate, and this is their plan, right? Let's leave the rate the way it is. We are watching inflation. Our target for inflation is 2%, and for 2%, CPI is at what? CPI is at 2.7%. Okay, and PPI is where? PPI is around 3.3%. I'll have to go and check that again also. Let's go ahead and check. Yeah, 3.3% PPI right here. 3.3%. Here's it, 3.3% right here. CPI 2.7%. So that means we are right on that one. Let's come back here. Okay. Now, this is not looking like something they're going to achieve anytime soon. CPI is at 2.7%. PPI is already what? It's already reducing. Okay. Which means it has the potential of reaching or getting to their target, but it's still far off. And CPI got increased last week. Okay, we got an alter reading. We got an alt reading on CPI, but a more soft reading on PPI last week, which is the data for last month. You know what I'm trying to say? Okay, but the target is what? 2% across board. Right. So looking at the inflation right now, inflation is dropping slowly. Okay, it all started from 3.something%, and now they are at 3.3%, 2.7% respectively. CPI and PPI looks good. But are they close to the target yet? It is not. Is the target even achievable? Is it feasible? I'm not sure right now. Because now we have CPI going up. We have tariff also creeping back in. Brazil is still vexing with Trump. India is also not aligning themselves properly. The BRICS nation, let's just say the BRICS nation in general, they're not aligning properly with the United States of America. And they are one of their big partners. Okay, Brazil and oil. India supply oil to the United States. China literally produce their textile, their clothing, their furniture, and some other things. Okay, pharmaceutical engineering tools also produce it for the United States. Okay, I think Russia and US relationship has been, it has been molded for a long time, so we don't really know if they're still partnering, but I think they're still taking some stuff from Russia for sure. All the BRIC nations are more like one of the stronger. They're like a very strong partner with the United States, especially Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. I'm not sure. Okay, but those four nations, they are big partner with the United States. So sanctioning all these people with tariffs is not going to help, and they are very pissed. Okay, you can read all of this in online. Okay, so if the Fed leave the interest rate at 4.5%, tariff is probably going to increase interest rate. Okay, interest rate is not looking like it's going to get to the target anytime soon. If they prolong and wait a bit further, you know what will get messed up? Let's take a look at it. What will literally get messed up is our beautiful labor markets. This one right here. Okay, this is what will get messed up. All right, the labor markets will get out the most. And why? Because when you see institutions and companies paying all these high hands money, paying all this big money, okay, as interest, okay, on all of their profits and whatever. What we start seeing is unemployment rate going back up gradually. Okay, and it has already started from 4.1% right here. Okay, unemployment rate is now at 4.2%. Okay, the highest we've seen unemployment rate in the United States is 5.8%, and that is like a couple of years back. Okay, so if this continues to happen, you can see just job opening fell. NFP also did what? NFP also fell. All right, based on the data we have for this month. We had this month, not for this month, for last month, but we had it this month. Okay, so it signaled that the labor market that is holding the pack before is now crumbling. So Fed is losing their grip on on the labor market, and inflation that they're trying to curb, they're trying to control, doesn't look like it's going to get to the target anytime soon. You get what I'm saying now? You see the point? So they have to cut rate. At least if what we are trying to achieve is not achieving, now we have to cut rate. So that is why he decided to blow to blow the whistle. And that looked cool, all right? I mean, we're all expecting that. We know that that would happen one way or the other. We're just not sure if we are ready for it. But it seems like they don't really care, okay? If we are ready or not, it has to happen, and it's going to happen. So back to DXY, what is the plan right now? All right, last week, the plan was quite simple for me, all right? What I had planned for last week on DXY is we get a break above here, wait for a break, pull back, and I look for buy opportunity. That was the plan moving forward last week. And I said, if I get something like this, I'll probably sell pound USD, okay? And I would buy, and if I get something like maybe I get a weaker DXY, I will consider buying Euro USD, okay? I will buy Euro USD. If I see a weak DXY, I will sell pound USD if I got a strong DXY. And what did we get last week? It was a mix of both. We got a stronger DXY to a large extent, and then I was actually buying euro dollar regardless because I knew it's gonna fly. Anyways, so and then boom, 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 boom on Friday, it just dropped down, which is very crazy. Now, what is the plan moving forward? DXY is actually very messed up right now. I can't even, because I'm still neutral to bearish on it. Why? Because it's still inside this box. Okay, I'm still neutral to bearish, but for the sake of people at the back, let's just have something planned on it. Okay, something very small, something very little. Okay, I would really love to see it come back to this particular demand zone right here. Okay, it's not the idealist demand zone. Let's look for the price level. Okay, so we have it at 97. Where is it again? Yeah, 97.10. Okay, we have it at 97.10. Let me just drop it like that. Boom. So we have that 97.10 right there. That's the current price we're looking at on DXY. So if it gets to this region, I would consider buying from there. All right, consider buying from there. Unless when it gets here, we break below it, and then off it goes to the bottom. All right, anything can actually happen right now with the Fed signaling bearish. I mean, with the Fed being dovish on interest rates, it's a lot. It's a whole lot. So that is just where I'm at right now. Nothing is sure right now. Nothing is super certain right now. Just have to be cautious. We have to watch where we step in the market right now, especially on the dollar pair. And let's hope we can make some very decent profit come next week. So we anticipate a retest of this particular demand zone, and then we see if the market can make it to the top from there. Anything outside of that would be market crossing below 97 region right here, make a pullback, and probably sell it all the way back down to what, 96.30, the one right here. Okay, potentially, maybe we're gonna get it to push the upside from there. I'm not sure, I don't know. But the moment this particular demand at 97.10 is broken, then we are no more holding this bullish bias. Okay, I guess it has been invalidated, and then maybe we're going to continue the January bearish momentum on DXY. I'm talking about this particular one. Okay, the one that started in January, right here. Pam, 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 pam. All right, so that is more like what we have right now on DXY. Okay, so let's just calm down. Okay, strategize adequately, and let's see what we can make out of dollar come next week. But right now, I am neutral to bullish. I mean, on a short-term perspective, okay, as far as DXY is concerned, I'm neutral to what? Maybe slightly bullish, okay? But I wouldn't bet I wouldn't use big lot size on a trade like this, okay? I have to be cautious. So now let's jump into my trade, the trade I have running, okay, my open positions. So I told you I'm buying Nasdaq. I actually have, oh no, this is Nikkei, excuse me. I'm buying Nikkei also at the top right here. It looks quite decent. However, I have a plan to add to the position moving forward. Okay, potentially if we get a break below here, the market comes down to this region, I'll be add to the position. Okay, this is a very tiny position because I thought, as a matter of fact, sometime I believe that it's going to drop to this particular region, which I would likely probably short sell around there, and then I'll wait for it to come back down here, and then I will take a buy from there. So, but for now, it looks like that's not going to happen. So I'm watching how it goes from there. So I'm holding a buy on Nikkei regardless. Euro USD, I'm buying euro dollar. Like I said, I've been buying for quite some time now. I think there should be something here, yeah, to show you that I've been buying for a while. So I started buying right above here. Okay, I added to it right there, and then off it goes to the top there. So the plan is still plain and simple. I'm gonna hold this for as long as possible. Okay, I'm potentially gonna hold this as long as possible. But if we get a stronger DXY, probably come next week or maybe week after that, I would not take closing this trade off the table. okay, because you can see this momentum right at the top here, right? We're seeing this. So if this particular region is not broken, okay, I guess the market still can still fall further to the downside. Probably then we can now see a bigger move on DXY. I mean on Euro USD. So, but right now I'm holding to the buy and let's see how it goes from there. Pound USD as well. I'm buying this one also. Okay, it's more like a late entry for me. Oh, can I say an early entry? I think it's an early entry, I would say. Okay, it's a very good entry. That's why I'm buying early entry. So I took a buy right here. And I was also leaving the house to the gym. So I was like, I have a trade set up. It looks good. I've been waiting for this pullback for a very long time. And you can also see this one that it's the bearish momentum actually got broken to the upside. So we have a flag pattern right here on pound USD. And then I also got a very good engulfing candle right there on the 1 hour time frame. Okay, it's more like a engulfing. Didn't really engulf fully on 4 hour. But on 1 hour time frame right here, we've got a very good engulfing candle right there. So I just went ahead and what? And took it. So I don't like calling things anything like sniper entry. It's crazy. So that to me, the sniper entry is more like a legend. But it's better to buy. I'm not depicting the fact that if you enter at a very good price level, you make good money and you get to set your stop loss at a more decent rate. Like look at my stop loss right here. Okay, I get to use a very minimal stop loss, and at the same time, I don't get to expose my capital to much risk. Okay, because the moment we get this particular region broken to the downside, then it's done for this momentum right there. Okay, it's done. Then we're probably going to get a more deeper push to the downside. All right, that's done. So the sniper entry might not be. I just don't like using that way because it makes you feel anxious. Like, oh, I didn't get a sniper entry right here, so I'm not going to sell. You should sell. You just set up. If you missed it, if you missed a good entry, just chill a little bit and just jump because there's no serious pullback here. So you can just wait for this whole move to happen and you miss everything. I'm just saying, there's no right or wrong in trading. It's just the way it is. Right? In my personal opinion, though, you don't need to take it. And this is not financial advice, so it's all cool. Nasdaq, I took a buy on Nasdaq. It's actually a multiple entry, to be honest. Okay, the first entry I took was right here. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of sniper entry. Imagine I took it right here and it went up. You call it sniper entry, right? Yeah, but it did not. Okay, what happened was it dropped further, and I took a fresh shot right here. And that one you can call a sniper entry. So you can try your sniper entry like 1 or 2 or 3 times if you have margin toward the loss. All right. And lastly, I had a buy limit right here also. Okay, but that one didn't get tapped out. It didn't get tapped. Like I said, I have position that I put my entries and with a very, very small lot sizes. So just to make sure I capitalize on all the moves. The same thing I was trying to do on Nikkei the other time, that one did not even drop. I was expecting it to. I was even praying for it to drop because I had a bigger lot size at the bottom here. I mean, at the bottom when I was talking about Nikkei the other time. But that one did not drop. Okay. So what I'm saying, I have a bigger lot. I think I had a bigger lot around here. I have a lot here, an order there, and I have another order here. But it's not, I don't know. Anyway, that was the plan initially. I don't think that's going to happen now. It's more like it's gone. But back to Nasdaq though. Nasdaq was very good. Okay. We read about the US tech companies losing some steam throughout last week. So that will give me a chance to kind of like just capitalize on that. Okay. If it ends up coming down here, at this point, I'll probably go trade out. Okay. Because it's like almost like 1% of my entire positions. Okay. So, but let's see how it goes. If it comes down again, maybe I will hold off on it and just buy from the bottom there. But I don't really know for sure right now. So let's just wait. Okay. I think there's a possibility that it's going to just continue to move up. All right. As far as the Nasdaq is concerned. So that is that on that. So let's talk about a trade recommendation. All right. And then we'll wrap everything up with the economic calendar. I think we should go that route today. All right. So trade recommendations. I'm going to have to start with silver. Oof. Silver is a monster. All right. This last week alone, if I don't lose trades, I don't say I lose money. If I don't lose a trade on silver, I'll probably not care that much about silver because I'm literally pissed at silver right now. Okay, so I took a buy right here. I took a buy here, went up, tapped me out at trading at a not very good trading stop because I didn't make so much money from it. After seeing so much, I didn't make so much, so that's crazy. So it tapped me out. I took another buy right here, and that one closed me out in a loss, and I was pissed. Again, you can guess where I was. I was at the gym again. I don't know what it is with the gym. I don't know what it is with the gym. So I was at gym again. It tapped me out around 3 p.m. It's very crazy. And then I was waiting for it to come to this, at least to this particular bottom right here, so I can take a buy. Yeah, believe you me, I took a buy right here, and then I closed it. I put a buy limit around here because why again? I'm going to the gym. And then it did not come here. It didn't get there. What happened was the market just flew off from there. I was pissed. I was pissed at myself as well. But there's nothing I could have done though. Okay, I'm not an impulsive trader. I wish I'm an impulsive trader. If I'm an impulsive trader, I can just open the trade and let it be. Okay, but it doesn't look good. There's nothing to support this particular buy right here. The only place that makes sense for me is somewhere around it. It still makes sense a little bit though. But what I'm going to do, it's a very good buy though. So if you take it, congratulations to you. I think I shared with some of my friends. I think some probably will take it, but I didn't take it. I was expecting a bigger drop, and that didn't happen. So now back to silver. As you can see on H-Finder right here, enough of my pity party. As you can see right here, we have silver at very bullish. Okay, read very bullish. Score of 16, right? I mean, score of 13. So the plan is plain and simple on silver right now. We can't buy from the top here. It doesn't make sense. I want to advise you to buy right there or right here. No, that's 0. All right. Wait for it to break above here. Pull back. All right, and then we go in and buy silver. All right. You want to scalp it, or probably if you can't wait for that, then maybe around here, wait for pull back to this region and look for buy opportunity. If you don't want to do that, if that's also too high, wait for the market to come back to this region right here and look for buy opportunity. I would consider this one. Okay, I would probably consider buying from here or buy from here. Those are the two places that I would consider buying silver from. The result is unclear, all right? It's not my ideal trade because you can see it's also been ranging for a while. That's what just dropped, all right? It's been ranging, so it's not my ideal trade, but it looks good and it makes some sense. Gold as well. Gold looks very tidy, okay? However, I have a couple of trades planned here. As a matter of fact, I took a short trade around here some time ago last week, which was very tightly placed, okay? I just tight stop loss. I was trading very tightly. So I got caught up very early. I was able to trap around maybe 150 pips or thereabout on that one, which was very good. All right, day trading it. But now the plan is to see a breakout of here, which happened already up above 3350, okay, 3350, 3350, literally. Okay, now that we've gotten that, the plan is to see if we can get a pullback to this region and then we look for buy opportunity. Don't forget the same thing, the same plan on silver. Just that silver plan was more like if it comes back down to this particular place, we can look for buy. Okay, but gold is more subtle. Okay, it wasn't really as violent as silver, anyways. So we can look for buy opportunity at the retest of this particular region at 3.550, 3350. Okay, not 3.550, please. 3350. If we get a retest of this particular region right here, we can anticipate for a further buy on gold. Okay, I will take this if it happens. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put a notification right here and a alert right there right now, so that if that happens, I'll be able to take that opportunity. Yeah. And you can see gold is also very bullish. It's a score of what? Score of 12 right here. Very bullish gold. Score of 12. So you might want to take a look at that come next week. The other thing I'm buying right now is Nzdusd. Okay, please, if you're not in this trade yet, you might want to add it to your position. It's gonna be a long one. It's gonna have to be a long one. All right. Although when you take a look at the economics of price needle right here, dollar is still pretty weak, 42%, right? Nzdusd 63%. So Nzdusd is somehow beating the whole thing. Okay, but what changed the trajectory of Nzdusd was the fact that the Reserve Bank of New Zealand said the fact that they increased their ceiling, okay, their target for the year. I mean, they reduced it. Excuse me, they reduced it from 2.85 to 2.55, and that is just very dovish. Okay, that just made everybody just went crazy on Nzdusd, and they just showed it like, bro, what are you talking about? They just said it. So that is just the reason why, because I was really interested in Nzdusd for a while, but then it went off, and you can see right here, Nzdusd bullish. The score of 5, excuse me, Nzdusd bullish score of 5 right here. So that is something you might want to consider. All right, I want to consider that. But let's pay close attention to the chart itself. Okay, price action. Let's see how that goes this week. But it looks good. It looks really good. And my Fibonacci also kind of like just support the whole thing. Okay, if any of my friends, okay, people that we talk every morning. Okay, see, I've had this thing drawn here for like forever. Okay, and you can see at some point it came back to 50% Fibonacci. So maybe it's going to stop there and the market will just rally hard from there. It had a very good potential, honestly. The Nzdusd had a very good potential to rally hard, especially if TX5 fell further down. Okay, which I wouldn't move past it because the employer just said they're going to cut trades. I would actually bet that they're probably going to start with 50 basis points. Okay, honestly, 50 basis points is not too much. Okay, if you ask me, they should actually start from there. And then it can go on and on and on and on from there. Okay, probably the next one is 25 basis point, and the next one should be probably 25 basis point. So if they can cut 1% this year, it's gonna be too much, honestly. It shouldn't be. Okay, ECB cut like 2% this year, I guess. Just keep cutting back to back, bam, bam, bam. So the Fed can also kind of like just follow their footsteps. Okay, and the next trade setup would be USD JPY. Let's start. Yeah, again, I missed out on this one. Why? Because it kind of just, it was a trap, right? And you wouldn't believe it. I got like 17 notifications alert from TradingView last week, but I had a notification right here that I want to short. Again, where was I? I was at the gym. It's always about the gym. Okay, I was at the gym. I was expecting a slight drop, so I can short. That already invalidates this particular demand and supply zone. But I know there might just be a liquidity sweep right there. So I was looking forward to short USD JPY. But then what happened? Fed went ahead. I mean, the emperor went ahead and said what he said. Say what he said. And boom, 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 boom. There were no chance to even short. Okay. When I go back home, I saw USD JPY around here. There's no way I would sell that. It doesn't make sense. Okay. That's not sniper entry. That's stupid entry, in my opinion. Okay. So it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. So I just have to let it go. Okay. USD JPY, that's that. The next one is, so yeah. Where do we go from here on USD JPY? On dollar yen, I would say that it's still very bearish to me. I would still love to short it. And as you can see, I have an alert at the bottom here. The plan is, let's see if we can get a correction to this region. Okay, maybe we get it to this place. I'm looking to selling it to the bottom. All right. But my original plan would be to sell from here. Okay, if we cross above one, if we cross below 146, you can see we have a psychological level right there. Okay. So that's 146.00, the whole number, round figure. So that's great for sure. All right, if you're interested in that, probably take a look at that. Okay, so that's that on USD JPY. And lastly, let's talk about CAD JPY, and that will be all from me today. So CAD JPY is also pretty bearish, as you can see on H-Finder right here. Okay, on H-Finder, it's CAD JPY, very bearish, score of 9. USD JPY, very bearish, score of 6. Okay, we also have USD CHF. If you're into that, you can look into shorting it. CAD CHF, I wouldn't recommend a short for that one. That's all-time low, please. Don't go ahead and short all-time low. For that, if you're going to sell that, be very cautious. I will actually advise buying it, but because right here it's saying sell, so I'll probably not going to touch it. So that's that and down. But CAD JPY, very bearish, score of 9. Okay, and USD JPY, very bearish, score of 7. So those are very good trades that I'm looking forward to take this week. Let me plug my PC. It's almost dying. Okay, it's like the live is leaving it gradually. So I think it's plugged right now. So moving forward, excuse me. So moving forward, we have CAD JPY right here. Okay, what is the plan on CAD JPY? You can see it is actually reducing slowly. Okay, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Okay, we have the structure here. We have a high here. We have a high here. We have a high here. We have this low getting broken. All right. So next week we get a break below this 106 region. Okay, another psychological level. Okay, a round figure around here. Get a break below here. Nice and decent pullback where we can look to shorten this one. As a matter of fact, if you're an impulsive trader like that, you can just go ahead and short it. Okay, so far we didn't really get. I'll just put your stop loss slightly above there. It might look like this. Okay, sell probably around here. Like I said, for an impulsive trader though, put the stop loss above there and just just go for it. All right, go for 1:1.5 right there. Okay, because we have a very strong resistance right here. Okay, you can see low, low. You can get a new low right there. So you might want to be very cautious on that one. How you approach it, maybe something that was actually very good. Yeah, something like this. You might want to be very cautious on how you approach this. But you can also just 1:1.5. It's not too much. Okay, that's 100 pips stop loss, and you're going for 150, 155 take profit. So that is not too crazy, in my personal opinion, though. All right, so that's pretty good if you're interested. But I'm definitely not going to take that one because it's just because of me. Okay, so I will probably wait for a break below here, a pullback, and then I will go for shorting it. Now, you might think, yeah, what if you break below here and did not pull back? It will pull back, all right? It will. It might take a while for it to pull back. As you can see, all this while, every time you push up, it always pull back. Okay, I mean, it even does pull back more than you even want it to be. Okay, this is a pair that will be very hard to trail. But if you're buying from here and the market went up here, you can see it's very tough to trail because your stop loss is somewhere around there I'll get tapped out here, and you can still see it went up. I'll probably not. I'll probably be pissed for this happening, and it got me tapped out. So it's very, because it does a lot of pullback. So just be patient. It will do pullback. Don't worry about it. All right. So on that note, that is where I'm at right now on this pair. Okay, based on my trade recommendation. I will also suggest WTI for a short. Okay, if you are interested in that one, you can short WTI. But right now, the plan is to get, a retest of this particular zone right here. Okay, we can get this particular region here. We're back to 65. Okay, 6,500. Okay, 6,500, excuse me. Okay, that's another round figure. Okay, we might see a drop on WTI moving forward. I'm pretty bearish on WTI right now. So please stay close. Pay close attention to US oil. That's run by WTI. The same thing on Brent. All right. So now that is what I it on from my hand to you. Okay. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay. Don't forget to follow me on my socials. And if you have any question, please drop into the comment section. I will check it and I will respond to you. I will see you in the next one. Please don't forget to choose save this month. Okay. Very important. Be cautious. Stay cool. And may the gods of the market keep us all safe. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.